Good morning, everyone. You know, it's been a while since we've brought to you a teacher-made math video, so kind of thought it was time to bring that back since there's nothing good out there on the interwebs for finding or teaching you how to do multiplication problems with an unknown, all right, or with a variable. In other words, very basic algebra, which I think all of us have done at some point this year, but we just want to review and maybe take this a step further and start solving some more difficult problems with this, okay? So the first two that I have on here on the board as an example, these are basic fact types of problems, okay? And we really probably don't need to use too many algebra strategies in order to find these. We should just know the answer by looking at them if we paid any attention, because we were supposed to know our basic facts going all the way back to October of 2019. That's quite a while ago now. But if you look at the first one real quick, we have n times 7 equals 28. Remember that n, that letter that's in the equation, all right, is known as a variable, okay? That number can change depending upon what the rest of the number sentence says. All right, well, since we're taking n times 7 and it has to equal 28, there's only one thing that can be. And I hope that you're all saying, well, I know that 4 times 7 gives me 28 because that's a basic fact. So n in this case would equal 4. Okay, because indeed 4 times 7 does equal 28. Okay, the one down below here we have 9, and remember another symbol for multiplication is the dot. Okay, 9 times x equals 81. X this time is our variable. Okay, and again you should be saying to yourself, well, Mr. Naram, that's pretty easy because I know that 9 times 9 equals 81. That is a basic fact. So x in this case would equal 9. Okay, but if we take this a step further and we start using numbers that are not numbers that are part of the basic fact table, then it gets a little bit more difficult. So, for example, if we had n times 5 equals 365, okay? N times 5 equals 365. So something times 5 equals 365, but now I can't just figure that out in my head. In fact, I don't know what the answer is. I just made this up right off the top of my head. I don't know, okay? But there is a process, an easy process to figure that out. All right, so first thing that, and we've talked about this in my class. I don't know if Mr. Stevenson and Mrs. Warnicki's classes have talked about this, all right? But we always say when we have an equation like this one, all right, if we're looking for the answer to a variable, we want to isolate that variable. We want to get that variable all by itself on one side of the equal sign. Okay, so that means I'm going to take everything else that's with the n and I'm going to take it and put it on the other side of the equal sign. So that means we're going to take the multiply by 5, all right, and we're going to bring it to the other side of this equal sign. And I always like to say that something magical and mystical happens, all right, when you take this part and bring it to the other side of the equal sign, all right? And what happens is the opposite happens to the whatever your operation is. And in this case, the operation is multiplication, all right? The sign is going to become the opposite when you cross the equal sign, all right? And the opposite of multiplication, as you should know, is division, all right? So if I bring times 5 over here and times becomes division on the other side, my new equation is going to be 365, not times 5, but divide by 5, because this is what's going to help me solve what n is equal to, okay? So we learned how to do long division earlier in the year, so I'm just going to set up 365, I'm going to do it kind of small over here, divided by 5. Okay, so how many 5s are there in 36? There are 7, I believe, without going over. That would give me 35. I'm going to subtract. I have a 10 left. I have 5 1s left. I put them together and I say how many 5s are there in 15? There are 3. 3 5s gives me 15. I have no remainders, and I have solved my equation. N should equal 73, as long as I did my long division correct. Now, to make sure it's correct, go back and plug the n into the equation. All right, so the n we are saying is 73. So is 73 times 5 equal to 365? All right, 530 plus 1 is 36. It is indeed, and now I know for a fact that I got the answer correct. All right, so this is how you solve a multiplication problem with an unknown or with a variable in it in a very orderly and easy to find way, okay? Have any questions? Ask your teachers. Have a good day.